Hello, welcome to House of Flawless, and I'm Aloris. And I know if you know me, then you know that my life is full of makeup and my lipstick brand and my perfume and all things girly. But there is another side to me that I am ready to let out. It's a dark side, so bear with. I mean, I wouldn't call it dark. I would call it kind of obsession, sort of say, in crimes. Obsessed with committing crimes. I'm just obsessed with the crimes that's already committed. And in my mind, I chose the wrong path. In my mind, I was supposed to be a criminal investigator. Okay. So when I don't have clients, I'm at the house investigating these 48 hours case facts. Okay. So what I'm going to start doing is I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one obsessed with this stuff. If you are anything like me, love makeup, love all things girly, but also love these crimes, come on here with me. Let's sit down. Let's do our makeup and let's talk about these crimes, girls. Some of these cases scare the shit out of me. So listen, sit down, get your makeup kit, get your little glass if need be, because we got some crimes to break down in the flawless files. Let's come on and get started.
It started here on this Romeoville block September 17th, 2023, as a wellness check. Alberto Rolón, Zoraida Bartolomei, their two boys, ages 7 and 9, lived in the home. Alberto didn't show up for work, and Zoraida's family couldn't reach her or the kids. New video from Romeoville.
Today, we are going to talk about the Bartolomei family. I hope I'm saying that right. Bartolomei family. This case was so wild and so crazy. It had so many twists and turns. It took investigators over a year to figure everything out. September 17th, 2023, Zoraida's mother and sister called in for a wellness check on Zoraida because they had not heard from her all day.
Zoraida Bartolomei. Haven't heard from her or her husband or her children during the whole day.
On top of that, Zoraida's mother said that Alberto job called and said he had not showed up for work.
The husband, they called from his work that he didn't show up to work. And he never,
So Mama wanted the cops to do a wellness check. Cops showed up between 8:30 and 8:43 that night. When they first got there, no lights was on. Nobody was answering the door. So the cops began a investigation, kind of walking around the house and seeing if they could see things through the windows. Now, the cops did not see anything through the front window, but they did go to the back door and the back window. That's when things went completely left.
Yeah. This one's open. Oh God.
I need more units here.
This is when the cops go into action. They call for backup. They go to clear the home. As they are clearing the home, this is where the tragic scene unfolds. So not only do they see the two unalived dogs there, they also see Alberto, trying to figure out a way how to say this on TikTok. They also see his body in the hallway of the home. And as they continue to clear the home, that's when they go inside of Zoraida's bedroom, her and Alberto's bedroom, and they see Zoraida laying there with her hands covered over her face, unfortunately unalived, as well as the two baby boys who were 10 and 8. They were also in the bed snuggled with their mommy while Alberto was in the hallway. I'm not gonna lie to you, the first thing I am thinking is, what kind of mess has this family gotten into? Because it is very unusual for a whole family to be taken out this way. Like, what the hell is going on? And as I keep telling the story, I'm just like, why the babies? What do babies do? Let's keep going.
Police to believe this happened between 9 p.m. on Saturday and 5 a.m. on Sunday morning.
We are not asking anybody to shelter in place. We are not actively looking for anybody in the area.
But we do always ask our residents to have a good sense of self-awareness and to report anything that they might see as suspicious.
What? Y'all, my mind was going 100 miles an hour looking at this. Now, a few of the neighbors did an interview with the news, and they said that they could not figure out what in the world or how this could happen. The family was very quiet, very to themselves. They had just moved into that home, they had just bought that house. The kids were well behaved. The family did have events, they always had it in the backyard with their family. They were not a problem at all. The neighbors had no answers to what happened to this family or why it would happen. Just like how the neighbors was clueless, the family was clueless as well. They told the cops that they have absolutely no idea who would have beef with their family. They're really quiet. They live for their children. Yes, they did have some ups and downs during their marriage, but who doesn't? But the family said once they bought that home, they were really doing good for themselves. Investigators continue to investigate the scene. As they're on the scene, they see tons of 9mm pistol shell casings all over the floor. Once again, there was TV, the furniture was flipped over. Things were broken. It's like somebody came in and just tore up the place. And I'm thinking, were they looking for something? Like you go in a house, you can't find something, you asking them, I don't know, where is something, they don't know where it is, and you just go off on everybody. I'm guessing with y'all. I'm guessing. That's my first thing. The scene was set up. They could tell that Alberto, who worked at night, he was still up. And mom and the kids, Zoraida and the kids, were in bed. So investigators figured that he was up, probably watching TV, whatever. He's up. He hears a noise at the back door. And as he goes to the back door to check out what the noise is where he got hit first. He turns because that first hit did not take him out. As he's turning to run to the room where his wife and the kids are, he got hit 5 more times, which took him out in the hallway. Then they get to Zoraida's room, and that's where her door is knocked off the hinges. And that's when the intruder gets her and the boys while they're still in bed. So the investigators has already put together the scene. The next thing the investigators do is go to Zoraida's job and Alberto's job to find out if they know anything. While they are at Zoraida's job, they did get some good information. Some of her co-workers let the investigators know that she was talking about some strange text messages that she was getting that was making her really scared and really uncomfortable. And she was kind of stating that at the job with some of her co-workers. Now, these were very, very threatening text messages that she was receiving weeks before her death. The text messages was kind of warning her about the entanglement she was in with one of her coworkers. Now, the text messages was warning her to stay away from Nathaniel Huey Jr., one of her coworkers to whom they assumed she had an entanglement with. Said that her husband Alberto was aware of previous entanglements that she may had. Of course, he wasn't happy about it, but the couple decided to stay together for the children. Said that the messages was letting Zoraida know that Nate was about to be in the middle of a murder investigation and that she was putting her children and their wellness on the back burner instead of leaving Nate. Just a week before the tragic incident, Alberto was receiving messages from this unknown number as well. And here's what the messages said. This will be the last time I say this, Alberto. This stupid girl will be the reason you have no children. Now, course, detectives wanted to talk to Nathaniel. I kept calling him Nate, but his name is Nathaniel. Of course, detective wanted to talk to Nathaniel because y'all got something hot and heavy going on, and they need to find out what's happening.
What can you tell us?
I know about the relationship that stems from here.
So when you guys, are you married?
Like, well, like, yeah, but not paper. Like, I mean, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, yes, but like, we're not didn't go to court to, like, you know, official.
So like church married, but not paper married?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as investigators are talking to Nathaniel, the first thing they ask him is he's married. He says, yes, but no. Like, yes, he is married, but no, not in the traditional sense. Now, Nate says to the investigators that him and his wife, not so wife, had held a church marriage, a church wedding, but they never filed the paperwork to actually make it official. So, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, he had already pissed me off. Because how are you with someone for 8 years and you say, when somebody asks you, you married, you say, yeah, but no, but it's kind of hard to explain, but it ain't really what it is, but we married, but not married. What are you talking about? Are you married or not? But he did let the investigators know that him and Zariah did have a serious relationship and she was his soulmate. Zoraida, who was married to Alberto with 2 kids. I don't understand how many times y'all not gonna get it that somebody else's husband or somebody else's wife is not your soulmate. But I digress. Nate's wife, not so wife, name is Irma Melinda Palomo. Remember that. Irma Melinda Palomo. But with Zoraida, he said that their connection was special. He said that she was an angel and that he would never do anything to harm her or cause any harm to her or her family. But an interesting point, Brianna, Zoraida's sister, referred to Nate's and Zoraida's relationship as Romeo and Juliet. Don't ever listen. Let me explain something to y'all. Me and my husband relationship is not Romeo and Juliet. I don't want to hear nobody relationship. One of my homegirls been there, never called me and be like, girl, I am so in love. It's giving Romeo and Juliet. I'm going to say run. I'm going to say leave. I'm going to say this is tragic written all over it. We never, listen, come on, y'all. Do we not know the story of Romeo and Juliet? Shall we pause and look at the story? Let's go on. One thing I did notice the investigators did ask Nathan, they asked him about Alberto. Was he a violent man? Did Zoraida seem to be scared of her husband? Nathan said no. She did not seem to be scared of her husband. Her husband seems like a very nice man. He was very laid back, hence why him and Zoraida was taking things slow, easy, because Alberto did not seem as a threat at all. Nathan said it was one of those things where Zoraida just was not happy. She did not want to be there, but Alberto was very, very good with the children. Nathan also said that him and Zoraida was moving slow, but they were moving forward. The investigator says moving forward as if y'all was looking for places to stay together. Y'all were going to separate from your homes and come together. Nathan says yes, but moving slow, but we were moving forward. Saying how he is so angry that this happened to Zoraida. He is so effing angry. Nothing against his wife, but the relationship and the connection that he had with Zoraida was so different, and he could not explain it, but that was his girl, and he was just so upset that this has happened to her. Of course, investigators will investigate. Everybody is guilty until they say they are not. And investigators kind of felt like there was a little bit more to Nathan's story. They were not really buying it. So the next person, of course, that they talk to is they have to talk to his wife, not wife, the wife that he had the church ceremony with, but didn't sign the paper. So the wife of not his wife for 8 years. Now, with the investigators doing some more investigation and looking into Nate, they also found that he had another business. Well, he had a side hustle on top of his manufacturer work called Black Bear Security. Bear Security was security services when you needed security. We'll keep going from that. But it's kind of funny that Nate had a security LLC, but he was barred from having firearms because of a battery charge back in the day. So, but what officers did notice was Nate was not at work 2 days before the tragic event with Zoraida's family, and he did not return back until the day after that tragic event happened. When a co-worker said to investigators that there was a little bit of riff-raff going on between Zoraida and Nathan before the incident, that Nathan was very upset with her. That's what the co-worker said. That's what they wouldn't told the people up there at the police office. Now, remember, Nate stayed with his on again with his fiance wife lady. What also stayed with them were 2 adult children. I think it was 2, maybe 3, but they're adult children, not theirs, but hers. And one of the adult children told the officers that Nate was a paranoid type of guy. He always felt like somebody was following him. He would put electrical tape over the camera. He would even put it over the red dot over the TV. He was a very paranoid, high-strung person. In his mind, he was really believing that people were watching him, watching his every move. So what the cops started to do was watch him. They started to watch Nate a little bit closer because, once again, they wasn't buying the act that he was putting on. I'm on top of the daughter saying that he's paranoid. He acts very weird. They started watching him. And what they did was found a video of him in the Walmart parking lot meeting up with the old security buddy. Now, what the investigators saw was the security buddy passed Nate a large black duffel bag, and they hunt down this old security buddy, and he actually told them what was in the bag. Child. I had to write down everything that they found in this bag because my brain wasn't going to remember. So I had to write this down. They found 11 rounds of 45 AC ammunition, 3 Glock magazines, 2 rifles, soft body armor plates, a knife, black zip ties, and any and everything else that you can use to take you up out of here is what they found in that black bag. Even though they found all of that, they did not find the 9mm gun that was used for the tragic event. Now, the same day that they went to his job to speak to him is the same day that they went to his home to speak to his fiance, non-fiance wife, not wife, had the wedding but did not do the paperwork wife, Irma Linda. They went to go speak to Miss Irma and get some intake on what she knew about Nate in this soul time relationship.
Hello. Hi, Ermelinda. My name is Detective Garcia.
Hello.
From the Romeo Police Department. This is Detective Wagner.
Hello.
I know you know what's going on and why you were here. Okay? I know you were talking on the phone with your husband right now.
Husband
Okay.
or boyfriend?
He's just a
Okay. Does he live here with you? How long have you guys been together?
2015.
Okay. We're investigating a murder. Okay? So,
And I'm telling you, the way this lady is standing there, she is beside herself. They are investigating something like this, and that Nathan would even be that will happen to this young lady. He is not capable of doing anything to this young lady. She is also distraught because it seems like when the investigators were talking to Nathaniel, the investigators did not know that Miss Irma was on the phone and she could hear the investigators talking to him. So when she came to the door, she was distraught because this is the first time that she finds out that Nathan is actually cheating on her. She did not know that. The investigators also let Miss Irma know that there was some nasty, threatening messages that was sent to Zoraida, and they wanted to know if she had anything to do with that, and also kind of let her know if you did have anything to do with it, you'll find out. Of course, Miss Irma said absolutely not. I am too old for that foolishness. I am not coming to no woman to woman about my man, honey. I am not talking to this girl. Am not threatening her. I am not sending her any messages. I did not even know that this relationship was happening.
The women that he's having affairs with?
No, for what?
I don't know.
No.
Leave your man alone kind of thing?
No, I'm too old for that.
Miss Wilhelmina, I gotta go back and think this lady's name. But she also said that they asked her, was she home the night of the tragic events? She says yes. Not only was she home, Nathan was home as well. And her daughter also said yes, Nathan was home. They had an alibi.
So,
did you go anywhere Saturday night then?
no, I was home. Well, it wasn't night, it was afternoon. No, I did not. I was here. I understand this is not about an affair, but for me, it's about an affair. I don't know what day you guys are looking at, but for me, he was home all weekend. Thursday to today. He goes to work, he comes home.
Do you think he's capable of taking someone's life?
No. I'm sorry. I know.
How sure are you of that?
You know, Nate is a lot of things, but what he tries to do is to calm people down and stop them from fighting. So for him to just actually fight with someone, no.
Remember when we first met you at the door, I told you that we had some text messages
Yes.
with phone numbers, and we're going to find out who those phone numbers belong to. Is there any reason why those numbers will come back to you?
Are you sure?
Are those my numbers?
I don't know that yet. We're looking into it, but what I'm saying is, is there any reason why they would come back to you?
No.
The investigators asked her one more time, are you sure you did not send any threatening messages to this young lady? She said no, she never sent any messages to her. And as far as she's concerned, if he is out here cheating, it is not the woman's fault. It is his fault. She would never stoop so low to do something like that. She said she never met Zoraida. She's never heard of her. She's never heard of her husband. She knows nothing about this woman, and she knows nothing about this relationship. I believed her. I believe that this lady had no clue that this man was walking around here calling this lady his soulmate and calling her whatever he felt like calling her during the daytime. I totally believe the wife that she had no clue as to what was going on with Nathan and Zoraida at that job. But she was very adamant on the day of the tragic incident, tragic event with this family. They were home, and so was he. So what the investigators started to do was they started to track where these text messages came from. They need to understand who was sending these text messages to Zoraida, and also who was Nate so paranoid? Who was he so afraid of? So they go back to Nate's job and they said, hey, we need to take a look at your phone. We just want to rule you out, or you are not someone who's sending these text messages to Zoraida. Nate wouldn't give him the phone. Nate said, you can't get this evidence out of computer. Ain't it what you need my phone for? They continue to explain to him they just want to rule him out, and they need to look at his phone. And Nate sat there and played dumb, like he did not understand why these people was asking for his phone. He wouldn't give it to him. Nate started to play this victim game. Oh, you guys are making me feel uneasy. You making me feel like y'all trying to set me up. These 4 people are now gone to glory, and y'all trying to make it look like I did it. I am not feeling, I don't feel comfortable. I will not be giving you my phone. And if I'm not mistaken, Nate said something about a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. So what Nate did is he agreed after his shift to come and give his phone up, and for them to search his vehicle. And if I'm not mistaken, he said after work, but he did give the DNA sample right then and there. What Nate did say was he had no clue where the threatening messages were coming from. He had no clue about the messages to Alberto. He had no clue about the messages to Zoraida. But he also told the investigators that he was receiving messages as well. What Nate said was the threatening messages were messages to the effect that somebody was coming after him, and they were Bulgarian. And they always do stuff to his phone. Now, he would not tell the investigators what exactly they were doing to his phone, but he did say that they had some high-tech stuff. Now, is where things are starting, or it's gonna start getting a little crazy, so I need y'all to bear with me, because it took me a minute to kind of get what was going on, okay? The investigators did look at Nate's phone, and yes, he was receiving threatening messages. It was exactly what he said they were. But he was receiving them longer than Zoraida was. If I'm not mistaken, Nate may have been receiving those messages for a year, but him and Zoraida never talked about the messages that was being sent to each other. Nate messages was if he did not do certain things, he would have been unalived. That's basically what the messages was. They was giving him directions to do certain things, and if he did not do it, he would not wake up in the morning. Now, Nate thought that these messages was coming from a higher violent, off-the-chain gang cartel group. He believed that's who was sending him these messages. In his mind, he believed that he really needed to do what they told him to do, or him and his family would be gone to glory. Here's where the messages went. Well, they were already crazy, but here's where the messages really, really went left. Nathaniel was told that there was a mole in his family. There was somebody close to him in his family that was going to end him, and he needed to take out that mole before they got to him. Now, the story kind of fast forward a little bit. On September 19th, Nathan and Irma hired a lawyer. And somewhere between him hiring a lawyer, he goes to Target to talk to his mom. While he's talking to his mom, Irma is inside of Target, but he confessed to his mom that he killed Zariah and her husband and the children because the text messages told him that Zariah was the mold that was going to take him out, so he needed to take her out first. The mom wanted to know why he killed the kids. He said that he felt that the kids were better off than alive without any parents. I want to know what Nate mama did after she got that information.
An officer stopped Ermelinda outside of their home as she was about to get into her black Chevy Malibu. A license plate reader had captured her car in Romeoville at 3:48 a.m. on the day of the murders, and police were in the process of getting a search warrant.
It's evidence. Yeah, we're getting a search warrant for it. Okay, so unfortunately you can't touch the car right now. Okay? All right.
Not only that, Nate was seen getting in and out the car on the passenger side. And Ermelinda was driving.
Through ring camera footage and other sources, the vehicle used in the crime was tracked traveling from their home in Streamwood to Zoraida's Romeoville home at the time the murders were thought to have taken place. Nate was seen exiting and re-entering the vehicle from the passenger side. Ermelinda was the driver.
Child, let me tell y'all something. Girl, remember, let's go back to our remembrance. Let me take it back to my remembrance. They asked that lady, was she home and was he home that night? She said they had not gone anywhere. She was home, he was home, and her daughter also said that they were home that night.
No, I did not.
The lies you told.
I was here.
Later that day, I'm guessing that the investigators took the car. Well, later that day, Irma and Nate fled. They ran. She called her family to let them know that she was afraid of him. She was afraid of Nate, and that she needed to go with him. And after the family did not hear anything else from her, they called in and said that she was missing.
A number of her family members telling them things such as, I love you, take care of my grandbabies. She seemed upset. We know without a shadow of a doubt that at the time of the murders in Romeoville, Ermelinda was home sleeping. This has been confirmed by multiple family members. The police identified her as a person of interest. Okay, well, she's a victim, just like the Romeoville family is a victim.
Now, as they put this on the news everywhere, they called Miss Ermelinda a victim. They said that she was a victim just as Zoraida and her family was a victim. But investigators quickly found out something else. September 20th, a license plate reader caught Nathaniel's car 600 miles away from where they lived in Oklahoma. A local cop alerted the authorities to let them know that there was a kidnapping victim at Walmart. A kidnapping victim. Now, as they got back into their car, an Oklahoma officer turned on her lights to investigate the missing persons report, and instead of Nate stopping, he keeps driving. He put the metal to the pedal. He put the pedal, how you say that? He put the pedal to the metal. Girl, he left. The chase continued until Nathan's car ran into another car on the I-44 and was pinned in the median. The driver's side door was pinned shut because it was in the median. And the car had caught on fire, y'all. So As the cops go closer to the vehicle, of course they're screaming, "Get out, get out, get out." They heard gunshots. Once they opened the passenger door, they could see that Irma Linda was shot. They pulled her out, but Nathan was also shot. It seemed like he had, or not seemed like, but he did unalive himself. As they were getting Irma Linda out, they did try to smash in the driver's side door to get Nathan out because it wasn't clear that he was unalived yet. But the more they were able to crack open that window, they did see him. He was already gone. They rushed Irma Linda to the hospital, but she also did not make it from her injuries. Now, even though Miss Irma Linda and Nate are gone, the investigators still continue to investigate this murder. And what they found, oh, child, what they found in this whole plot is what got me. What the fuck is going on? Are you serious right now? So they were able to get to Irma Linda's phone, and they were able to investigate the messages and see everything that was going on in her phone now too. And come to find out, the source of Nathan's paranoia was actually coming from his fiance.
Oh my God!
One of the craziest things. So sometime around December of that year, Irma Linda started getting these fake phone numbers to text Nathaniel. Since December of 2021, she started getting these fake phone numbers and fake pages to trick Nathaniel or make him believe that he was actually being followed and had to work with the cartel and the Bulgarian gang. Some of the personas she was using was bossman and hitman, and some of them were hackers. And she would all put these personas together to make it look like they were all working together against Nate, or Nate had to work with these people. He honestly believed that his life was in danger if he did not do what they told him to do. And it was all coming from her. Her main thing was to do this was so he wouldn't talk to other women. Bottom line, she was trying to scare him straight. She was trying to scare him enough that he would not talk to other women. And when he did text or talk to other women, the text messages would be interrupted and all hell would break loose. 1 week before the tragic ending of this family, Irma Linda sent text messages to Zoraida and Alberto. I hope she listens, and I hope you two can grow from this. He carries pums with him. Surely she can find another black man to entertain. These were the messages she was sending to Alberto and Zoraida a week before the tragic end. Also, the last message that she sent Zoraida was, and I'm reading it, "Your wife did not care about the warning to protect your children." All this over a man who didn't even go do the paperwork for your ass. So once those text messages did not work and they did not scare Zoraida off the way she wanted to, she started to send text messages to her fiance. And the text messages was from one of the cartel or Bulgarian bosses to let him know that Zoraida was the mold and she needed to be eliminated quickly. He needed to get to her before she got to him. The messages also said to make the scene look like a burglary. Yeah, that's why the house was in shambles, because they wanted it to make it look like a burglary. So what Nate did is he's talking back to the Bulgarian or to the cartel mob that he's thinking that he's texting, which is actually his wife, and he's letting them know that he is planning on doing this, letting them know the plot, the plan, not realizing that he is actually talking to his wife, and he also let them know that his wife would be the one to drive him there. She would drive him to do the unaliving of his soulmate and her family. That case right there sent me to like, my God. My God. Fellas, be careful who y'all play with. Y'all out here playing with people, and these ladies ain't stable either. That man, clearly he wasn't right in living either. That man left here not even knowing that his wife set up this whole, well, his wife, his fiance, set in motion this entire plan for him to take out his mistress and her entire family. He never knew it. The sad part about this tragic end is the babies. The babies did not have to end that way. This all was just too much. I hope y'all like this story. I hope y'all like this case. Catch me next week, same time, same place. We got another case, girls. And it's going to be a lot of twists, a lot of turns. The same way this was is the same way the next one going to be. Okay? We got to get in some cases. All right? Because I know I am not the only one obsessed with this stuff. I know I'm not. And I'm also obsessed with this setting spray by L'Oreal. Anyway, I will catch y'all next week on Flawless Files while we unpacked another steaming, hot, off the charts case.